What's good, y'all? It's your boy Jetski Chuck back with another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're on hyper mode. Let's go!
Oh, but we may actually have, my friend. We may already have. Let's take a second to get a few people mad out there with these photos of excavated giant bones found all over the world. But why would they be mad? Oh, it's because these are fake. That's right. Every one of these photos of giant bones have been deemed fake, but I'm gonna show you the real ones. Photos like this are claimed to have been part of an archaeology Photoshop contest back in the day, but were they just part of a cover-up? Let's start off easy. These 6.5-foot femur bones are confirmed real and weigh around 1,100 pounds. But they were of course labeled as dinosaur bones, belonging to a species called sauropods. Real convenient being able to just slap a dinosaur label on any potential giant remains we ever find, huh? A lot of people will say, it's only one bone, where's the rest of the giant then? Oh yeah? Where's the rest of the dinosaur, motherfucker? But you know what, they might actually be dinosaur bones, so let's not jump to conclusions yet. Like this two-headed mummy discovered off the coast of Argentina in the 1600s, measuring 12 feet tall and currently on display in a museum, confirmed by many physicians to be real. Now there's this, a giant skeleton over 23 feet tall, uncovered in Ecuador and 100% confirmed real, which was later dismissed as an ancient sloth? Like, come on, they're just making shit up at this point. Another photo from Ecuador. Kinda blurry, I know, but almost no evidence pointing to it being faked. Here's a giant footprint fossil in South Africa, 4 feet long and estimated to have belonged to a being 24 to 27 feet tall. And finally, there's this. A much more human-looking femur bone, and not as thick as the others. Dug up in the Euphrates Valley in Turkey, measuring 47 inches and estimated to have belonged to a giant over 20 feet tall. All confirmed real, and giant excavations like these used to get widely reported in newspapers all the time back in the late 18 to mid-1900s, but now they're always quick to sweep these under the rug for some reason. With the Smithsonian, the world's leading museum and research education institution created by the US government, accused of covering up all giant findings and instead putting the spotlight on how fake the fakes are. Like they did with the San Diego giant in 1865, which is one of the smaller ones, inspected by dozens of scientists and featured in many newspapers. After which the Smithsonian purchased the giant for a pretty large sum, and then all of a sudden, many years later, they dismiss it as a hoax, saying that it was made from gelatin and we never see it again. Google searches of these giant excavations will obviously only bring up the fakes, pushing the most ridiculous ones to the top of the search results. The problem with finding definitive proof of these giants is the internet is laced with these Photoshop jobs. So all the Google debunkers are quick to downplay any new evidence that comes up, like, nah bro, it's fake, didn't you read that fact check article bro, even if real evidence were to come up. But even if real evidence were to come up, the alleged Smithsonian cover-up can easily just write a bunch of articles that discredit it as a hoax. We all know this isn't the first time governments and tech giants were caught deliberately manipulating data to control the narrative. A lot of the time, the difference between a conspiracy and fact is time. Now, I'm not saying this is 100% one of those cases, but keep that mind open, people.
Yeah, I'm not saying I know everything, but for entertainment purposes, there was definitely giants. All this proof around here, man. Look, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Your boy is got a certified forklift license. That's my certification. But if I put 2 and 2 together for entertainment purposes, there was definitely giants. All this proof out here, we got these mountains, these petrified boys. Let's go, man. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're excited about giant content just as much as me. If you believe it or not, one thing you gotta admit, this is entertaining and interesting. I can't get enough of diving into these giants, and today we're going to dive in deep. Yes sir, let's dive in deep on these waters. Let's go.
They most definitely were. They most definitely were.
Okay, my
You know,
friends,
people are always saying, where's
Tyson? He got him in from a lady in Christchurch, New Zealand, Christine, and these appear to be some old maps showing that the head of a creature is Africa, and there's more than that one. hold on. We got this one, and then we got this one. Now, and they both appear to be different maps, and they both appear to show the exact same thing. And I looked up the cranial formation, and it's not too far off from that. I mean, it really isn't. So, if anybody has any information, I'd sure like to hear about it, because I have nothing more on this. It really does fit, I'm telling you. I mean, that's like the cartilage off his nose. And the skull areas seem to be pretty close to looking like this. So if anybody can help, we'd love to have this. And the size of the creatures that we are talking about, this is not outside of the realm of possibilities. I know it sounds insane, but it is what it is. All right, this is what tendon balls look like, and this is what moons look like. That is where the tendon ball was attached. They are biological. You see that? That's Iapetus. It's got the same type of implant. Some of them have two, some of them have one. Some of them have ridges, some of them don't have ridges. But they are all moons. I mean, they are all tendon balls. There's the equilateral ridge in Iapetus. There's Tetchus. Same thing. They're all the same. This is Iapetus again. Oh, no, this is Mimas. You see, they're all the same. They cut up bodies of the gods. That's all I can tell you. And the head could be Africa. I have no idea. I'd love to see a little more on that map. All right, this is Comet 67P on top of Raleigh, North Carolina. You see the size of it? That is also a tendon ball. Anybody that's been following me knows it's a tendon ball. That is the tendon ball right there, and its stalk came out, and this one got ripped.
He said, anybody still following me still? Hey, shout out Mud Fossil University, man. You're definitely interesting and entertaining. You know, I like those videos.
Ripped out and still has the actual tendons and a piece of muscle. That is muscle right there. And these little pinches are the muscle bundles. These little fibers are the tendon fibers. And that's exactly what this is. And it is enormous. Space is filled with the bodies of creatures. I cannot account for that other than this was written about in the past. And everybody thought it was hysterical, but it may just be historical. Now the crazy thing is, these tendon balls are these little tiny balls that are inside
He's spitting.
the joints of your body that lock and secure the muscles and tendons into something secure so you can pull your muscles against them. So some of these are tiny little tendon balls. The one that I showed you, like 67P, Comet 67P, is something like this. Other ones lay out flat, and then they have all kinds of balls inside the muscle and so forth that hold things. Other ones form balls, and then out of that ball comes the stalk. 67P is this type. The other ones I think are from areas of this, but they are all biological. And all of the astronauts say when they go out in space and they come back from the capsule, their spacesuits smell like steak.
Yo, that is definitely interesting. Looking at what he just said and reacting to that, Africa being a skull island, that is definitely interesting and tight. It kind of looks like it, to be honest. You know, just looking at it from, you know, first glance, like it on its side laying there. Where's the rest of the body at is the main question, is what I'll be asking. And it looked like he was trying to say like the moon was an eyeball. That's definitely interesting as well.
I was today years old when I found out about giant grasshoppers. Why? I was today years old when I found out about giant grasshoppers. grasshopper.
The biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Crazy, dude. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. That's a fucking tarantula. Crazy, dude. Holy shit! Holy shit! No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Why are those bugs so big? Did you see that tarantula? It was paying rent. That was his crib. He just got evicted.
A team of Japanese researchers, using satellite imagery and artificial intelligence, have discovered more than 140 new Nazca lines in Peru. The Nazca lines are a series of ancient geoglyphs etched into the desert floor and have been a mystery for centuries. The newly discovered lines were not visible to the naked eye due to erosion and human activity, but the AI algorithms were able to detect them by analyzing subtle variations in the terrain. The new lines add to the already impressive collection of Nazca geoglyphs, which include depictions of animals, plants, and geometric shapes. The discovery highlights the potential of AI in uncovering new archaeological discoveries and sheds lights on the rich history and culture of the Nazca people because a team of Japanese researchers
So tell
using
me, do you
satellite
believe, was Disney trying to tell us something? Crazy, right? Some things are just an optical illusion, right? Well, is this an optical illusion? Look at that and tell me you don't know what that is. Go ahead and tell me that confidently and mean it, because you know darn well what that is. You can see it. No, that's not a carving. That's a petrified animal from the days of old.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yep.
It's freaking nature, and it's freaking awesome.
Yes, it is. And I don't think science can properly explain how these animals were petrified so quickly to where they were able to preserve their form through all these years. And you know, that really got me thinking. There's plenty of statues on this earth that are thousands of years old. Now, what if they were petrified beings? Now, I know, it's just a thought. And yeah, I can't wait for the Mount Rushmore jokes. And you can joke all you want, but I promise you truth is stranger than fiction. So tell me, do you believe, was Disney trying to...
Alright guys, so for this particular one, I'm going to get on ahead and give a shout out from the get-go at Roger from Mud Fossil University. Even though me and the man might have a fundamental disagreement when it comes to the shape of the earth, the man is on point on a lot of topics, and I'm going to just get into what he talks about when it comes to the transition metals and what we perceive to be these colossuses, such as the one pictured here in this image, and just the absolute insanity of these things that we see in reality, and most people will gaslight us with saying that, oh man, it's just a statue, or it's just a rock, formation or whatever, it's all the talking points people like to, push on the truther community that we like to bring up. So without further ado, let's get into this. So of course, if you haven't seen any of the videos on Mud Fossil University, Roger talks about in several videos what transition metals are and how these specific metals in the periodic table of elements correlates in reality with these quote-unquote colossuses or statues that we see in Greece or throughout our realm. And it's interesting enough to know that these specific metals do change their properties over time, or through the loss of quote-unquote neutrons, protons, being mixed together with electrons once they're broken down into lesser forms. Of course, I'm talking about it in the most basic context for time's sake here, but let's keep on going. So, just as he has shown on Mud Fossil University, this is the Colosso del Pino, and just as we were talking about before with the previous slide with transition metals, you can see there from the top of the calf going down on this specific colossus, you can see that transitional state of the rock formation, and how over time, the blood has started to, coagulate or solidify, if you would, into stone. Using Gorgon technology, the schist, as we've talked about in previous videos, not exactly sure, but it's even stated by Roger himself that this was originally organic matter. And most individuals, when you would look at this and be like, well, there's a building structure inside of this, so there's no possible way, but I think people are being naive for that. But anyways, here's another one showing the ankle part of a colossus, and you can see the red metal starting to transition down. I'm gonna have to get into part 2 with this. It's not enough. See me in the next one. Alright guys, so
Yo, shout out Fallout True for that information. There had to be some type of flash, some type of technology, because all the statues we see nowadays, it was petrified, like in motion. It was a stance. You know, it wasn't something that slow that happened. It was like some type of solar flash. He called it orgonite technology. I don't know. It was some type of intervention happened that petrified them. And I do agree that yes, these were organic originally for entertainment purposes.
Claro, y hay una cara de... Y qué raro, está como con la boca chueca, ¿no? Claro, y hay una cara de... Y qué raro, está como con la boca chueca, ¿no? No me había dado cuenta yo de eso.
Es que la otra vez aquí nos quedamos para descansar un poco. Y de ahí estábamos observando acá y de ahí vimos esa cara y decimos, sí, parece una cara. Ahí nos acercamos acá, vemos ese hueco y digo, sí, así.
Claro, y hay una cara de...
How did it get there? Who takes the time to carve that looking down at you? Come on, man. That was creepy. Creepy and scary TikTok for real.
I'm going to show you guys 4 or 5 videos that may actually prove the existence of giants, starting with this video from Day Love Daxter in Mexico. Check this out. In this next video, a couple of people found by accident a giant footprint in Tanzania. Check this out. When it comes to giant footprints, I guess that this next video is one of the best evidence of all. But I guess that it gets even stranger. In Google Earth, there's this giant footprint. It's really big. Check this out. Now, this next video was captured by Mary Greeley News YouTube channel, and it was featured all over YouTube and TikTok. In this video, you can see buffaloes and trees as a reference for size. And if you pay attention here, there are 4 or 5 very tall humanoid figures walking very quick for a snowy day in Yellowstone National Park. Whatever these things are, they are walking really fast and they are really much taller than they should be. So this might actually just be a Sasquatch or maybe something else. You tell me. I'm going to show you guys 4 or 5 videos that may actually prove the existence.
Yo, those are some good videos. Those are some good creepy TikToks. We don't know what's in Yellowstone. You know, there's so much free roaming land. You know, there's so many caverns going on. We don't know. We can't keep track of everything. You know, but these cameras might.
Did you know that every myth is based on some truth? And did you know that Africa could be the real Skull Island? All my days. So I stumbled across these old maps, and for some reason they've shown Africa as a giant skull. The landmass fits perfectly. There's not just one map, there's a few, and they all show Africa in the same way. They always tell you the truth. You've just got to be able to understand their language. In this movie, they was hinting that giants exist. It's one thing to understand that giants exist, but what about titans? I've always wondered why they always seem to show Africa as the main landmass. They're rubbing it in our faces. The truth is always hidden in plain sight.
I wonder if the good book says anything about titans.
Many of the dinosaur fossils disclosed to the public are specimens that are of relatively large animals compared to any animal that exists today, but they really are not too much bigger than the blue whale. So, the size of the fossils they present to us are large enough and small enough to keep people sane. One of the things that I've noticed is that there is evidence all around us of the prehistoric world of giants and dragons. And because this is a very big world, for one person there seems to be no end to what you'll find here when you are looking for it. In the Bungkhan province of Thailand, there is a cave, the Naka Cave. This is right near the border of Thailand and Laos. And the very first thing that you notice, or that I noticed when viewing photographs of this place, is the snake. What is this? Is this a natural formation which includes the head of a serpent? Or is this just an ancient sculpture? Or are we just looking at another example of petrified giant remains? You know,
this snake, man, this is probably one of the best in my opinion on is everything I've seen. This snake in Thailand is definitely Thailand, however y'all say it. This is definitely the best as far as it stuff being petrified. They said you can see the head too. Man, if this channel ever takes off, best believe we're doing live adventures. You know, I would go to Thailand and see this, you know, like on some National Geographic type stuff. You know, take this channel to the next level. You know, Jet Ski Chuck Treasure Hunter / the Giant Finder, the Petrified Giant Finder. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, how would you guys enjoy that show?
Wait here, he could flex his dragon scaled throat without, you know, it won't be too stiff, but he's still well plated. And it comes right down, and it comes down into his guts, which happen to be right here. There's his legs, and here is his tail. Now again, you have Google Earth. Why should I bother wasting your time? There's his tail. That's all. You come over here, you're going to say, well, let's show you, and then I'll just leave it at that. And a couple last statements, and adios con Dios, amigos. Here's his tail running off. Dead dragon effluent. And if you'd like to see another one, all you got to do is come over to the US of A right there. All right? Thanks. I think I showed you the song Pete did, and that was just a couple weeks later, May 3rd, same year. And here it is, Space Station Flyover Morocco. Reptile scales are incredible and rugged geology. Share it on social media. I never saw it. Maybe they shared it, but I didn't see it. Okay, my friends, all I want to do is re-engage with NASA. They said they asked. See, look, Space Station Flyover Morocco. And then they asked the question, is this reptile scales are incredible and rugged geology in Morocco? They shared it on social media. Well, I'd like to respond.
That definitely looked like reptile scales. And if that is a dragon, my question is, what dropped it? Something had to drop that dragon. What dropped it? Oh, they said we got another one in the States too?
Ooh, fun day at Mud Fossil University. For years now. This dragon's eye, and I had no clue really too much about it. I just looked at it, and I originally thought it was just a stone tendon ball. However, I do believe it is a dragon's eye. And I got popped with a couple of hits this morning. This came from Christina Kruger, I believe is her name. Christina.
I'm sorry, but you know he loves it when he hits you at that ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, we live for this stuff, man. Hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to my boy Mud Fossil, man. There's some validity in here, y'all.
Christina Kruger, I believe it is. Ooh, fun day at Mud Fossil. I'm sorry, it's Christina Cooper. And this is, look at this very carefully. See this, how squared off that is? How amazingly squared off that is. And I have other shots of this from different perspectives. And a couple of guys just did a video about going in here. Now, look at these layers. You see the size of this thing? You know how many layers there are on here? There's a bazillion. I think that's a technical term. Okay, it's pretty obvious that this thing is coming down this way, and it's coming up to meet itself in a pinch here, which an eye does, and down here. Now, I don't have the best shots of this thing because I was never really that interested. I thought it was a tendon ball, and they are everywhere. Let me show you what I originally thought it was and why I now realize it is not what I thought it was. All right, you see this? This is what I thought it was originally, that big dragon's eye. But these are just stone balls, and these are tendon balls. They're all over the earth. I mean, just everywhere. And they are serviced by blood, and they erode sometimes, just like that did. And that's another erode. You see the top fell off over there? I mean, they're all over the earth. And everybody says, oh, what are these? We can't figure it out. Well, I figured it out. They're tendon balls. And that's what sometimes they have this, and then they have the chert around the outside, which you, sometimes they'll take on a color of like copper or something, which is in the area, and they have like a surrounding shell, but nothing like the eyeballs. And then they come in vast quantities here and there. The Moki marbles are unbelievable. There's just bazillions of them, and they're everywhere. They're all over the earth, and every day I see people saying, oh, I wonder what they are. They are tendon balls. These are actually interstitium balls, most of them. These are interstitium balls. When you see them in clay, in the red, white, brown, yellow clay, that's skin. It's literally skin. And that was the flesh of the people that they, or whoever it was that it was in. See them in the ball? That's the clay of somebody's body. Some creature's body. I'm not saying somebody. Here they are. They're washed up everywhere. I mean, they're literally everywhere because the earth is literally made of them. Is made of creatures. Now, again, that's another one of these balls, but there's nothing like the number of layers in the dragon eyes. All right, those guys got big balls. Let's see, here's a gigantic big ball. What's this? You see it right there? This is the kind of, and they're all over here, see them? Boom, 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 boom. That is filled with sand. Some of them are filled with sand. Some of them are filled with pockets of, they look like they could almost move a little bit against each other and still really, really retain solid. These, I don't know why they filled with sand, but there must have been something internally in there. Let's see what's this one saying. Here's another style. These are the kind that have like structural. I think that might be able to do a little of this and not completely destroy itself. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it's some kind of a, what's this? Oh, this is at least.
Let's see what he's saying. Like an intestine.
Somebody carved it. No, that's the blood supply coming into those little pockets. Here's another one, Lee sent me. That's the pockets are inside. They erode sometimes. If there's salts, they do one thing. If there's acids, they do something else. That I don't know what the hell is going on here. Somebody cut that, it looks like to me.
Yeah, some type of laser.
Long,
solar technology.
Now, Lily Lavender sent me this. If you go up and look at Iapetus, the moon, it's identical, absolutely identical. And even if you look down here, you can see where the cord came in to attach to that, which all of these tendon balls have a cord. Same thing, look at this, just like Iapetus too.
Take us back to the dragon eye.
Now, these are a certain type of tendon ball. They call them concretions. They must have been in some kind of, this I believe is a magnetite, or it might have some other metal characteristics to it, but you can see the exact separation. So the internal chemistry was way different. These are in a different type of tissue, but still the same stuff. These are the stone balls, like we just saw a moment ago, and the strap comes right up through here. They're all over the place. This is skin. That is literally kaolin clay, a white person's skin. Brown is a brown person's skin. Red is a red person's skin. And you look up kaolin clay, they have all of those different colors. That's just a tendon ball, and it opalized, which means it was in a different chemistry. And there's a thing called nucleophilic invasion. And whatever the chemistry is locally, it invades. If it can find stability in it.
That was a gem he just said.
It has a different structure too. They're all different for different places in the body. Where stress is this and that. Now these, the Chinese, it looks like cut them and made plates out of it. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to see more about the eye, but those balls he was showing was definitely interesting. How it could be a tendon. Those balls could be tendons, and how it was skin, and the sand turned into skin. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, we know they're giants, but, you know, this is alluding to titans. I wonder what the Bible says about titans. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode. If you made it this far, put the 100% great video. The great video helps the algorithm out, and the like definitely helps. You can subscribe if you want to. I love to have you, but I'm not trying to force anyone. But the likes definitely help, and I thank you guys so much for watching my video. Tomorrow, I'm thinking about diving back into some Tartaria. You know your boy can't get enough of that. There's more stuff we got to cover about the airships, the flying airships. Yes, we got to talk more about the giants. I didn't cover everything I wanted to cover here, but you only get 24 hours in the day, and we pump these boys out daily. And I thank you so much for you guys tuning in with me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.